What's up? Welcome to the show. We're your host, Grant Cohn, Maj Sports, Brandon Deutsch. I It's that time of the week where I actually have to lock in my prediction, and after flip flopping back and forth as I normally do, I have decided it was really the Sam Darnold oblique thing. I decided at that moment that I would be damned if I'm going to pick Sam Darnold to win a playoff game. So we're going to talk about Maj. Clearly thinks the Niners are going to win. I can't remember the last time he didn't, but I love that about Maj. Brandon, the skeptic that he is, doesn't. So we're gonna hear out why, but we're not gonna go there first. We're gonna go there last. First, Fred Warner's not playing. I think this story was interesting because it felt like the organization wasn't on the same page with him. Kyle's like, "Nah, we're not opening his window." Then they did. Fred Warner did that whole presentation in front of the media, went and spoke at his locker and was like, "Yeah, they said they weren't going to open my window, and then they did." And said that, he wasn't ruling out playing in this game. Adam Schefter said he was pushing to play in it. And then, like a G, Kyle Shanahan comes out. Fred Warner, out. What do you guys think happened?
I just think they're being precautious.
I think it's the right decision.
I think it is the right decision. Even though, if he played in this game, I think the Niners, I think they would, I still think the Niners are going to win. I just think if Fred Warner played in this game, I think it'd be lopsided. I just feel like they don't want to rush him back. They want to be precautious. They don't want his ankle to get worse. So it was kind of weird that he didn't practice yesterday. I definitely thought he would practice again. That's why I thought there was a setback, but I guess Kyle said there was no setback. I think they're just being very precautious right now because they don't want this to linger into the offseason and maybe next season.
You want me to be extremely honest here? I mean, I'm always
honest.
I'm going to be
because that was extremely earnest from Maj, who's 20 years old and takes everything at face value, and I love that about Maj.
Maj, I wish I was as optimistic as you. The older you get, you're going to get more and more negative as you get older.
The more I get,
pessimistic.
There's nothing jaded about Maj, and I love that.
Yeah. I love that. I wish I was as optimistic as him. I don't think Fred Warner makes a difference this week. I'm not kidding. Listen, the way Kendricks and Wallow played last week, I know, Fred Warner, we don't know how healthy he actually is. He hasn't played a football game in a long time. He's coming off of a serious injury. You don't know if we're even going to get the Fred Warner that everyone thinks we're going to get. Obviously he's an upgrade over Wallow, right? But I don't know, kind of play the hot hand.
I think it's fair to say you won't get the Fred Warner that you saw before the injury. I mean, it's unrealistic to expect.
For sure.
Given you're telling me a 70% Fred Warner isn't better than 100%.
I don't think it's
going
to make a difference, Maj.
I don't think so.
I'm telling you, this game is going to be dictated by Mike McDonald and Seattle's defense. If the Niners can put up points, they will win this football game. If they don't, they will lose. It's very simple. To me, Fred Warner doesn't make a big difference. I think the Niners defense might not be as locked in because Salo is taking interviews, and I know we'll discuss that. But Ricky Pearsall is the key to the offense. I think he's going to play. So if he plays,
should.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny how it was reported by Adam Schefter that Fred was pushing to play. And I respect it, right? He's a future Hall of Famer and you want him to be eager. But it really sounded like he was pushing was a understatement. He was saying, "I'm ready, I'm going." And Kyle had to say, "No, it's my call. And I don't necessarily have to explain it. You're not going to play in this game." And it could be because he's not ready. It could be because Eric Kendricks played so well in the last game. It could be because Kyle just wanted to make the call. But I respect it. And I feel like Fred was almost putting it in Kyle's face at his press conference at his locker. Yeah, they said they weren't going to do it. Then they did. Let's see what else I could get him to do. Not play in this game. Maybe if Eric Kendricks had played poorly in this last game, he'd be playing. But it seemed like the whole idea of Fred coming back is hey, man, this defense sucks. I'm going to do something no one's ever done. It's hey, man, slow down. We don't need 65% or 50% Fred. We got Eric Kendricks, and he's playing like the dude he was a couple of years ago. Take your time, Fred. Of course, you're better than Eric Kendricks when you're healthy, but let us know when that is. That could be next year. It could be next week. He was like, "Are you confident that he'll be ready next week?" And he's like, "Yeah, we're confident, but we'll see how it goes." Left it open.
I think he'll play next week if they win, for sure. I think he'll for sure play next week, and I think that's the reward. If you go and win this game, you get your superstar.
If Eric Kendricks balls out in this game, you think it's for sure that Fred Warner plays next week?
If they play the Rams, because that's a better team. If they play the Bears, and it's you can win without Fred Warner, you don't really need him.
The thing I'm scared about, I'm scared of Garrett Wallow or Eric Hendricks. Just like it's a small sample size. They played good one game. I'm scared if they kind of come back down to earth against Seattle and suck.
Here, I'm not scared. You want to know why?
Why?
Seattle's offense isn't as good as people think. Like, I know
They
Philly's
have Sam
offense is
Darnold.
really bad, but like, you're telling me Ken Walker and Zach Charbonnet are better than Saquon Barkley and Tank Bigsby?
They scored a lot of points in the regular season, though, but
I
their run
don't
game
care.
wasn't statistically
They beat
good,
up
and
on
their
bad
quarterback is
teams. They beat up on bad teams. They beat a bunch of these horrible teams by like 25 points, and that's why they're David Lombardi's favorite stat. Their DVOA is like off the charts, and on paper
They
they're the
put up a
best
bunch
team
of
in
points on the
league.
Rams at one time.
Yeah, but the Rams DBs are atrocious.
The
Anybody
Rams
can
defense
put
did
up
fall
points.
apart down the
Yeah,
stretch.
anybody can put up points on the Rams. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I think obviously didn't Matt Jones play the Rams game with the same oblique injury that Darnold has?
I think he had an
Probably.
injury.
So I don't
He
think
had
it's
an
like
injury.
going to be that bad, but I think I think you're right, Grant. I think Darnold's looking for an excuse if he loses this game, like because there's so much pressure on him and he has folded in the biggest moments throughout his career. I think the
Yeah.
oblique injury is like an excuse for this game if he plays bad. But to be honest, like I don't think it makes much of a difference if Sam Darnold or Drew Lock is out there. Like,
Look, I know you guys want to talk about this game, but I'm gonna make you wait because there's
Okay.
more I want to get to before. Because I know you're chomping at the bit.